Hey y'all, in this episode of What I Learned Today, I'm going to talk about journaling and its power and its importance. Now, I would say I was a person who grew up not wanting to have a diary, not wanting to journal or write my thoughts down because I did not trust my environment. I did not trust that my brothers were not going to read my journal, that they were not going to take it and try to hide it and share it with their friends, and that people would tease me for my thoughts or so forth. So instead of journaling, I kept everything up here until I didn't. And then I started journaling, and I would journal about different things. I would journal about my thoughts. I would journal about my feelings. I would journal about my hopes, my goals, my dreams. And because of that, I make journals now, my dream journal, right? Big Dream Big with Bunny journal, where you can write about your dreams. You can draw pictures about your dreams. And these can be your daydreams, your hopes, your goals, but also to write about the dreams that you have at night, because so many times our mind is sending us messages on how to solve problems, answer questions, resolve conflicts. As well as giving us ideas on how to do things and what we want to do in life and what's important for us. Our nighttime sleep dreams have so much information inside of them, but we have to write them down. Sometimes it doesn't make sense when it's sitting in our head, but it makes more sense once we write it down on a piece of paper. Then it's also important to daydream, right? So we want to make sure. So there's Bunny writing in as she's thinking about her daydreams. What does she want her life to consist of? What does she hope, right? This becomes important to write it down to see, is this something that we really want to do? And then write down the steps that we think it takes to get there, the knowings that come to us. It's also important to have our journals, and you can have multiple journals, which is why I even now make so many different types of journals. Um, you can write down your what you're thinking and feeling when you have an interaction with somebody, with your friends, with your teachers, with your brothers, sisters, cousins, family members, parents, right? It's a space for you to write down what you're thinking, what you're feeling. And again, sometimes it's a matter of capturing your thoughts, and sometimes it's even just drawing the pictures, how you're feeling in that moment. So even though these say my thoughts, obviously you can also put your feelings in there. I'm happy because, I'm mad because, I'm sad because, I'm confused because. Journals are for everybody of different ages. It's a matter of finding that journal that you feel connected to. I have all, obviously, I make journals, but I also have other journals that sometimes I see and I end up buying, and I say, I want to use this one to write down what are my financial goals and what are my plans for that. I have my prayer journals where these are my conversations with me and God, where I'm frustrated in life, where I am disappointed, where I'm excited, where I'm hopeful. So my journals consist of all different things. And like I said, I have different journals for different areas of my life. Some people, they put all of their stuff in one journal. It's fine. It's for you. It's about you. Um, some journals I keep and I reflect back and I look sometimes and read where I was. And then there's other journals that once they're done, I rip them up, throw them away because that part of my life is over and I'm not trying to revisit it. It is you, it is for you. Your journals are the ability to record these various parts of your life so that you have a better understanding of who you are. Your journals help you understand you, how you think, how you feel, what led to you feeling that way, what certain situations remind you of. It Journaling unlocks so much inside of you, and it is such a release of thoughts and feelings, emotions. Sometimes it's things that you would not ever say out loud to anyone, but you can put it in a journal and get it out of your system. That's what's so powerful about journaling. It is a great coping skill to be able to get the frustration and the feelings and even sometimes the love out, right? For those of us who used to doodle on the back of the book, I'm Mrs. So and so, I love so and so, right? It's getting it out of your system. Some people write song lyrics and poems in their journal. So, journaling is very, very powerful. It is a tool that I highly recommend. I'm laughing because I know some of my clients are listening and watching, and they're saying, yes, she makes us journal. And I hated journaling when I first started, and I didn't know how to use a journal, which is why I did put just the simple prompt, my thoughts, in my journals, or like I did in the dream journal, um, you know, my dreams. So just to start you off with, what are your thoughts? And you can simply write down, I'm thinking I want to have this for dinner. I think, and I like when we have this for dinner, and having this for dinner reminds me of, and all of a sudden it just starts to flow out. And you can start with one sentence, you can start with one word, and then gradually it begins to grow, and you begin to trust the process of the journaling and of you communicating with yourself. And for parents with children, just a thought, you doesn't have to be a child, it could be a partner, a loved one. I've also had families create a journal as a form of communication. So, for instance, they will write, how are we doing today? And so a child might take the journal, let's say you keep it in the kitchen drawer, and the child may get it, I had a good day at school today, or I was frustrated, because it may be easier for the person to write how they're feeling than it is to actually speak how they're feeling and what they're thinking. And then once they write it, they put it back in the drawer. The parent then comes, reads to see what is going on in the child's life. The parent may choose to respond in the journal, and then the child can then, or the other person can come and read what's written in the journal. So journals can be used independently, privately. The journals can also be used between people and families and couples to increase the communication and clarity of communication, because sometimes it's easier to write things out than it is to speak it out. Journals are also great for writing something out first to see if you are able to convey or state the message in the way that you want to. So it creates a practice space for you to say things, so that when you do go to speak to someone, you can either read it directly from your journal. You can always hand it to them to read, or you can practice it and memorize it and then be able to speak it out loud. So journals are very, very helpful. I definitely encourage you to get a journal. They have them in all types of stores. They have them online. And of course, you can always get your Froggy Tea and Bunny journals from yours truly here. They are all available on Amazon.com. I'll put the link underneath. So, all right, y'all. Happy journaling. See you soon.